The superstars of Fan Control Football Season 2.0 are not only the who's who of celebrity team owners and influencers, not the 21 million live views of our Emmy-nominated broadcast. Across Twitch, DAZN, Fubo, NBCLX, Peacock. Or our highlights that scored over 100 million views. And we can't forget best-in-class sponsors. But the biggest star of Season 2 is our play calling app that allow fans to control the action on the field. Fans pick a team, pick a play, 4 run plays, 4 pass plays to choose from. The play with the most votes is called in real time.
We got it.
This is where video games and live action come to life. And now, Fan Control Sports and Entertainment brings you Fan Controlled Hoops, where fans call the shots. Coming 2023, the future of sports is here, and it's fan control. Power to the fans.
Are you ready for it?
This is FCTV, fan-controlled television. Programs created and produced for the fans, by the fans of fan-controlled sports and entertainment. As always, power to the fans. And now, it's time for the show.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Info Arcade Show. Each and every Tuesday, right here on Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment, we run you through the sports and entertainment news you need to know about each and every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And as always, I'm Jaden, aka Info Arcade, joined by my incredible co-host, AJ King Kaw and Frosty Liquid Air. What's up, boys? How we doing?
Hello.
Guys, you ready to talk some sports? Ready to talk some entertainment today?
Let's do it.
It's 5 seconds in. My camera is already blurry. It's fantastic.
How does I that thought it was just you
every time?
I don't know. So I have a Logitech Brio 4K webcam, but I look like I'm standard def, like 180p. Like, look at this. This is a mess. This is garbage. It'll work itself out. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. We've got a really fun show for you tonight. We're going to be covering some NBA playoffs. We're going to be, first, some housekeeping real quick. We're actually going to be off the next 2 weeks right here. I'm moving basically cross country. I got a new job on the East Coast. I live in the Midwest, so I'm moving. And that means, like, after tonight, I got to pack up all my crap and, like, load it and get it in a U-Haul. And then I'm moving next week. So no show next week. And then the following week, I've got to build and set up the studio and then and all that jazz. So make sure that you guys do not show up here next week on Tuesday because we won't be here. But the second week of May, we'll be back. So that's what I got. I'm going to see if I can reset this. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. So guys, tell me, how's your week going? What's been up with you guys? Anything new?
I got COVID this weekend, so I've been in isolation for the last 5 days.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so I've been doing that, and
you feel better?
I feel fine. For some reason, COVID hits me like real hard day 1. Day 2 and 3, I feel like a lot better. Like, usually it's just stuffed nose at that point. And then day 4, I'm back to 100%. But I test like I have COVID for like 3 weeks afterwards, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So I was like stuck in isolation during the FCF for like 12 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brutal, man. That is brutal.
Then I lost a contest today because of like botting. It's been a wild ride, man. It's been a wild week.
Yeah, that whole episode on Twitter has been fascinating to figure out what the heck's going on. If you guys aren't familiar, just go to AJ's Twitter and you can just see this craziness. It's insane.
Yeah.
At King Call. Frosty, what about you, man? You did something big this week.
I did. Wasn't gonna mention what the heck.
You gotta mention it. It's too big not to mention.
So a group of guys that I got together, we started a company a month ago looking to buy sports franchises. We actually bought our first professional sports franchise in the ABA. So our basketball team that we own will begin play in November. So I'm pretty pumped about it. The Hoosier State Instigators. Got the logo and everything out. The social medias are out there. Just look for Hoosier State Instigators. We're going to play in Southern Indiana, the birthplace of basketball. Well, real basketball anyway. So yeah, we'll start in the American Basketball Association this fall.
That's incredibly exciting, man. Who knows? Who knows what that means? Maybe one of these days that will make you, get to a place where you have enough capital and enough clout, and you'll own an FCF team or
that's the hope
team, and then eventually you can buy the Washington Commanders because they just got they just closed their sale, but you never know.
Yeah, same pretty cheap. We're almost there. Something like $6 billion, something like that. Yeah. Ours didn't cost nearly that, but maybe.
I don't know what's worse. The fact that the Washington Commanders sold for $6 billion when they've had kind of a hit or miss record over the past several years, or the fact that the entire franchise of Star Wars was sold to Disney for $4 billion.
Yeah, I would have definitely taken the Disney deal. Were I buying the entire
thing.
Yeah,
no. Anyway, well, congrats.
Hey, Freddie's right though. Ambassador, I love it.
Yeah, Ambassador. Thanks. Frosty for ambassador. Let's make everybody on the show an ambassador. That would be something.
That's right. I'm down.
That'd be dope. We already got one.
If you get
three.
if you go to the Kingpins, all I'm going to be doing is calling you out on botting your votes after that point.
Hey, it's a little fresh right now. It's a little fresh right now.
It's just saying.
Freddie Airmail, Jay Spacely, you guys are always joining us here in the chat, and you guys can actually join us live on the show again each and every week, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And you can also catch our show as a podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. So make sure you do that. And Freddie Airmail was over here asking the real important questions. Will I still be broadcasting from inside a closet in my new place? Yeah, so he just totally outed me. For those of you that don't know, the behind-the-scenes structure of this show, I am currently in my master bedroom closet. It is a massive closet. It could be a bedroom in itself. And basically, like, my wife and I will only use half of it for clothes, and then the other half is my entire streaming setup. And it works out great. It's awesome. It works. I don't know if it's going to happen in my new place, but who knows? Maybe we'll see. We're kind of downsizing for a season, and then we're going to buy a house. So it's going to be fun, but we're excited. Anyway, yeah, man, I cannot wait to dive into the show. We've got some really fun news and a great debate almost to start off the show right away. So let's go ahead and kick this off with first up.
Let's go.
And let's go with this topic, ladies and gentlemen. This news hit yesterday, and I've got to say, this is the tale of two very, very talented players, two very different results. And we're talking about Jalen Hurts versus Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has been chasing the bag all year from the Ravens to no success, representing himself as his own agent, has not been able to land a contract yet. He's been seeking a very high dollar deal. And then Jalen Hurts, just yesterday, it was announced by the Eagles organization that he has signed the biggest contract in terms of average annual value in NFL history by extending his contract with the Eagles, signing a 5-year, $255 million extension, of which $179 million is guaranteed money. Guys, let's talk about this. First, let's address Jalen Hurts and congratulate him. Huge success. He honestly is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. He rightfully is probably going to find himself back in the Super Bowl again this coming year if they play like they did last year. There's no doubt about that. But do we think that this is a knock against Lamar Jackson, or do we think this is more just, hey, Jalen Hurts is getting his bag, it's well deserved? Like, what are your thoughts on all this, especially when comparing it to the likes of Lamar Jackson?
I don't think it's a knock on Lamar Jackson. I think it's well earned money by Hurts. You know what I mean? That's what the league does with quarterbacks, right? I think it does show kind of the mismanagement that's going on between Lamar and the Ravens, right? On the other side of it, I do though want to give a quick shout out while I have a second. The entire all of the agents, the team that works for Jalen Hurts, all women, which I think is super cool. They worked and got their man the bag. I'm so happy about that.
Did you
I thought that was
see
really cool.
the tweet yesterday that they released? Yes. Okay, so if you don't know, Jalen Hurts, like lead agent, like the main one that covers his agency, she tweeted back in January, anybody know where I can get a U-Haul? Basically, a Brinks moving truck, please. Anyone have a connection? And everyone's like, wait, what? And then like yesterday she goes, yeah, never mind, we got it all sorted. But
yeah, going back to, I do think it resets the market for Lamar. I think he'll probably come in just above that and ultimately end up somewhere, probably with the Ravens short term, kind of like an Aaron Rodgers type thing. But I think it probably resets the market for him. But honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think Jalen Hurts earned his money and rightfully got it.
You think this improves the chance that Lamar gets a big contract?
I think it should, right? I think it gives Lamar a better sense and the Ravens a better sense of where the market is right now, right? Like, you know how these quarterback deals typically work is whoever gets paid last gets paid the most. I think the fully guaranteed contract of Watson, which was kind of that last outstanding big deal, was unrealistically set a market that wasn't there. So I think this may help the two sides figure out closer to where they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say that this is honestly going to be a huge tell in Lamar Jackson's future. I agree with you. We talked about this last week. We think Deshaun Watson was just so overpaid. And so to see someone on the same caliber, like Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, I think they're both very credible players. I think they're top tier quarterbacks in this league. And I definitely think that there is definitely going to be something for Lamar to say, hey, look at this guy. And I know like he and I are on the same level, so you can't tell me that I'm not worth close to that, if not more. AJ, what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
I mean, I think the man deserves his bag. You know what I mean? He led his team to the Super Bowl. Like, he arguably could have won it. It was a great run for them. Like, give the man his props, because the props are due. Like, as much as we could talk about Lamar Jackson, and it's easy to do it, you know, you gotta pay attention to what Hurts was doing and give him his own credit and credits due. Also, shout out Info Perfect Comeback. 2-time Emmy nominated, sir. You want to complain? Come complain at us after we lose, okay? Because then we can all get mad at ourselves.
That's right.
We'll say Emmy nominated. Yeah, I gotta still put that on my resume. Anyway, continue what I was saying. As far as Lamar Jackson goes, I don't think this is going to help him. Yes, it's going to set the market, but I think a lot of us already knew what the market was. A lot of teams need good quarterbacks, and Lamar Jackson is still arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
100%.
The issue here is the way he went about it, and I still think it's like a huge, like it's not like a, I don't want to say it's an issue, but I feel like the league is taking issue with the fact that he's been representing himself. I think that's something that we've talked about, but I feel like it doesn't really get enough attention. We've seen that the NFL is notorious for, if you don't play by our rules, you don't get the attention you want. Like, look at what happened to Colin Kaepernick. So I think this is like, I know it's, resident, conspiracy theorists here, but I really think that it's more along the lines of like, hey, you need to follow the rules. You need to do everything the way everyone else has done it for all these years. And if you want to change something, don't try to do it alone.
Yeah.
Like, disrupting the NFL is something that is very difficult to do. And I think this is a perfect case situation where Lamar Jackson can fit on a number of teams, be an instant boost in their offense. Like even my Falcons, like instant boost. But for some reason that none of us can quantifiably figure out, because on paper, the man is top 10 quarterback easily in the league. So I just don't get it. I think this isn't going to help the situation. I think we just got to give Jalen Hurts his, credit where credit's due. And that's it. We can't make the comparison between the two.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And this is no knock against Jalen Hurts at all.
No.
Jalen Hurts deserved that bag. He deserved it for sure.
100%.
You're comparing him to the likes of Lamar, sure, because they're both top tier caliber players. Patrick Mahomes would be up there as well, right? I think for Lamar, I think his story is really going to come down to right before the draft or just after the draft. After things have settled, we figure out where some of these rookie quarterbacks are going to land, kind of what some of these teams do. And then it's going to open up some options too for some of these other teams that are looking for that starting quarterback. Like there's a chance that teams outside of Baltimore could end up trying to give him an offer, but only time will tell. But in the meantime, Jalen Hurts is now the top paid NFL quarterback of all time. And congratulations to him. And let's see if that money and, some of the moves that the Eagles organization is doing, let's see if that's going to help produce a Super Bowl championship yet again for Philadelphia. Speaking of championship, we're going to move on to one of the hottest topics right now because it is in full effect, the NBA playoffs. We talked about the play-in last week. We talked about our predictions, what teams were going to make it through the play-in. Some of us were like pretty spot on the money, and some of us hey, we've got some surprise upsets that ended up sneaking in. It happens. That is why we play the beautiful game. That's why the play-in exists. And so, yeah, we are excited to dive in. We are going to go ahead and take what we know of so far of what the record is currently with these NBA playoff matchups. And then I just want us to have us predict the entire tournament right here. And the reason why is because we are going to be gone the next 2 weeks. So a lot of basketball is going to be happening before we come back on the show. So I just want to kind of dive in, starting with the Eastern Conference. We've got the number 1 seeded Bucks taking on the Heat. The Heat are currently up in that series, which is kind of phenomenal. Like, hey, Miami is showing their pedigree, right?
Giannis
they are
got
a playoff
hurt,
team. Say what?
Giannis got hurt, though. Giannis
did get hurt. But again, it is a team sport. So, does Giannis have a chance of being healthy and being 100% in this playoff? Is he going to be done? Well, we don't really know all the details yet. But let's talk about this. Game 2, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. What do we see happening for Milwaukee? Do we see them getting a dub at home?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I still believe in this Bucks offense. They're number 1 in the East for a reason. It's not something to scoff at. And, Coach Budenholzer is one of the, arguably, if not the best coach in the Eastern Conference. I genuinely think that the Bucks come back. I think it's going to be a 7-game series. Bucks favor over Heat. The Heat are great. I just don't think they're good enough to get past the Bucks. I think if Giannis, it really depends. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. It depends on if Giannis comes back. If he doesn't, that's going to be a big factor. I think it's still going to be a close series no matter. If Giannis doesn't return, it's going to be a 7-game series to the Heat. He does return, 7-game series to the Bucks.
There's optimism that he could possibly play in Game 2. But they did an MRI on his lower back. It reportedly came back clean, but he's still sore. The question is, if they go into Game 2, just give him a little bit more time to rest before Game 3 or Game 4, are the Bucks going to be able to pull off those wins to keep them alive in this series? Frosty, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I think so. I think, realistically, they need to win 1 away game, right, and clean up at home. I think they can do that. I think they're too talented of a team not to do that, frankly. I like the Heat. I respect the Heat, but I think Bucks got it.
Yeah.
Especially if Giannis comes back.
I like the Bucks on this one as well. If something else were to happen, like if Giannis were to come back and then aggravate his injury, I think that could be a devastating blow. But again, I don't think it's enough to have them be eliminated in this first round. Maybe the second round of the playoffs, but I think the Bucks are going to advance over the Heat. Moving on to the next series, we got the Cavaliers and the Knicks. They are playing today in about 8 minutes. It's tip-off time. They are going head-to-head. This is going to be a very competitive series. Knicks are ahead 1-0 in this series. Cavaliers are playing at home. They have basically a fan vote of 64% saying that they're going to win tonight. Do you guys agree with the fans?
That the Cavs are going to win?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think the Cavs are winning? Okay.
I don't think they win tonight. I don't think they win the series. I think the Knicks are going to pull it out. I think it's going to be the upset of the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
I have a feeling.
The Knicks have been a surprise to me to see where they are seated, to see how they've played this season, despite just some of the questionable moves that even started all the way back with the NBA draft last year. And just some of the things that they've been doing as an organization. To see them in a number 5 seed and win that first game, like that's definitely telling. I think the series is going to go long. I think the Cavs pull off the dub today. It's hard to say if the Knicks go on. Maybe the Knicks do. I'll agree. I'll say Knicks do. AJ, you disagree. Why are you picking the Cavs over the Knicks?
Hard disagree. All right.
Okay.
As much as like I'm not gonna even say that. I don't want to say the Knicks because there's nothing in me that wants to say the Knicks.
Right.
Besides the fact that I used to be a Knicks fan. And then I saw the entirety of this organization just collapse in on itself. And then hire arguably one of the worst playoff coaches in the NBA history in Tom Thibodeau. All right. I do not think the Knicks are going to get past this round. I think it's going to be if the Cavs win it tonight, I think they're going to just gentlemen sweep their way to the end. Because Donovan Mitchell is a monster of a human. I think he is the X factor in this series. If he has a good series, and playoff Mitchell is very nice. He's very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
If he comes out to play the way that I always see him do and expect him to, he's going to change it out. And I think the Knicks are going to go down. I really do. I don't think they have the star power in them to keep it going. I just don't. Like, Julius Randle is their best player, and the guy chokes often in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see it. I think I think Mitchell is going to be the X factor. I think he's going to pull it out. Yep. That's it.
I've got a shout out to Jay Spacely over in the chat. He says he believes that if the Cavs don't get it done tonight, they are done. He says that the Knicks will pull it out, but he said it's totally on brand for the Knicks to go 1-out. Just saying. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the only franchise that matches them in aptitude is the Cleveland Cavaliers, though, in the last 15 years.
Since
you're not wrong,
right?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty close.
It's close. Let's go. Go ahead.
They made some good moves. Like they took Mitchell from the Knicks, and this is the thing that we don't even consider. Like, Mitchell was supposed to go to the Knicks this offseason. He chose to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. If he loses this round, that's gonna look so bad on his part. That's why I'm saying he's going to be the X factor that changes it up, because he's not going to let the Cavs lose to the team he chose not to go to, because that would just,
that would be bad.
Egg on his face, right?
Totally. Next round, we've got the 76ers. They are currently leading over the Brooklyn Nets after game 2 yesterday, where they won 96-84. They are about to play in Brooklyn. And so I guess, really, do we see the 76ers do a full sweep, or do we think the Nets are able to turn this around back at home?
As much as I hate Philly teams, it's going to be a full sweep. I'm surprised the Nets are even in the spot. I think they got here because they had Kevin Durant on their team for most of the year, and then once they trade him to the Suns, they should have given up. They don't have the team to move on. I think it's time for them to start thinking of where their vacation is going to be.
Yeah, I thought last night was the backbreaker, right? They had that game in the bag and then choked it away.
Yeah.
I thought if they won last
to
night, they
lose
had a
by
good chance.
double digits, to lose by 12 points too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that was the backbreaker.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when they head back to Brooklyn. I think what's happening with the 76ers, James Harden is playing out of his mind. There's been a flip of a switch in James Harden from earlier in the season. He was being heavily criticized, even by me. Just like he's been kind of a average player, but he's flipped that switch and he's in full playoff mode. He is in the true essence of who James Harden is, which is a true competitor. If you look back to his past, and he has a history of being a competitor, he has a history of being a huge threat for a team in the playoffs. And now he's showing that very much in this 3-seed spot. So I think James Harden carries us on and moves forward. Then we've got the number 2 seed, the Celtics, taking on the number 7 seed Hawks, who are playing right now.
Yeah.
Do you want a score update, or you want me not to tell you?
It's tied 23-22, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh,
you want to know? I'll tell you.
Sure. Yeah, give me the score.
Celtics 13, Hawks 22. So the Hawks are handing the Celtics some points right now. I'm looking at it.
It's 22-22. I'm watching the game.
Oh, you're right. So you're right. I refreshed it. So they are now tied. They were up 22-13.
Yeah.
4 minutes they've given up that lead. In 4 minutes they've given up that lead.
I just want to say, I was the only one that said Atlanta was going to win that game last week.
You were, yes.
You were.
Pulled it out.
You were. They sure did.
Yeah.
Props to Frosty.
That being said,
not even the fan believed at that
that's
point.
right. That being said, Celtics are going to move on pretty easily, I think.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be easily. I think they're going to move on, but I don't think it's going to be easily.
I think it's going to go long. I think it's going to go at least 6.
I think it's going to go.
I think it's going to go
long.
I think 5. Yeah.
You think 5 and out? Okay.
4-1. Yeah.
4-1. Okay. Well, the question is, do the Hawks win tonight, or do they win in their first game back at home? That's the real question. But I mean, this is anybody's game. It's still early. The first quarter is almost over.
Tie game.
Dude, I want the underdogs to win. I'd love to see the Hawks.
I would too.
They're going to take on the 76ers. And I don't think they beat the 76ers.
See, okay. Yes, sure. I understand that thinking, but the same thought was thought a few years back, and they beat the 76ers. So I'm going to be real. I don't think it's that easy to say. I think the only reason why I'm not counting the Hawks out right now is because I look at this Celtics roster and I'm like, dang, this is a great roster. Like,
yeah,
you got
Celtics are good, man.
Dude, their back squad is great. You got Malcolm Brogdon, Jalen Brown, Blake Griffin, even though he's hurt, Danilo Gallinari, former Hawk, great, like a 3-pointer power forward. You got Al Horford, another former Hawk, great center coming in. Mike Muscala, another former Hawk. So it's just fun to see all these players. You got Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, obviously great players, starters. But like, this Celtics squad is legitimately a great squad. The thing that they're dealing with right now is injuries. Danilo Gallinari, legitimate potential starter on any team, not playing, hurt. Blake Griffin, not playing, hurt. Mike Muscala, hurt. All these other players hurt. Their backups aren't at top form.
The question is Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and Jason Tatum enough?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
and normally I would say yes, but this is the playoffs. This isn't. They might be able to edge by the Hawks, but can they edge by the 76ers? A healthy,
exactly.
Competitive.
I don't think
that's gonna be tough. Yeah.
I don't think they get
either of these teams beat the 76ers, but between the two, I think the Hawks have a better shot. If they are competitive, if they're able to continue to ball out like they were in the play-in games. But they've got to get past these Celtics, and the Celtics, obviously, they were down.
I'm going to break it down like this. The way I look at these teams, the Hawks are like a 3-point shooting, fast, young, athletic squad. They're not built to battle down in the paint. Now, a team like the Celtics are good to match up against them because they got a lot of great wings that are very athletic, that can fly in the paint, and the Hawks don't have a big that can stop them from scoring. Fair. This is going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to go to the end. The 76ers, however, are a better matchup for the Celtics because they have one of the best bigs in the league in Joel Embiid that can stop all the paint rushers, as well as so I'm just saying the Hawks can beat the 76ers because they have the 3-point squad that's not bogging down the paint.
I don't think it matters who wins
up.
Celtics or Hawks. I think either one's going to lose the 76ers in the next round.
Still
that's
don't
what it
think
comes
so.
down to. That's my next round pick for that matchup. Whoever wins out of this series is going to lose the 76ers.
Let's move on to the West, right?
Yeah, we can move on, or we can just finish the East real quick and then move to the West. You want to finish the East and figure out who our finalist is?
Oh, so you want to go back around?
Oh yeah, we're going back. We're going back to the top. So Bucks would take on the Knicks if we're going by our votes here. We have 2 Knicks.
Oh, we're going based on votes. Okay.
So we have 2.
So
Knicks
then Bucks.
Oh yeah,
Bucks.
Yeah, I think the Bucks will beat either team again. It's one of those scenarios. I think the Bucks advance. So we got Bucks 76ers. Who are we picking to win the Eastern Conference Finals? That's a tough one, man.
Wait. So then what are we saying? You think 76ers are going to beat? It's going to be 76ers Bucks?
I think it's 76ers Bucks for the championship.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's going to go Bucks.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think the 76ers have it in them to beat the Bucks. Okay. Especially if Giannis is healthy, Bucks. It's all dependent on Giannis, baby.
It's all on the Greek man, the Greek god himself.
If he comes back, I think you're right. If he comes back, it's probably the Bucks.
Yeah. It's a wrap, yeah.
So that's who we got for the East. Let's move on to the West. Okay, so starting with the number 1 seed, the Denver Nuggets. Taking on the Timberwolves, number 8, dude. They upset my Thunder. I thought the Thunder were going to pull it out, and then they just did not show up against the Timberwolves at all. It was a sad day. But they played. Mm-hmm. I was super proud of how they played, and I think they're going to be a force in the next year or two. But
tough run.
I don't think the Thunder would have made it past the Nuggets. I don't think the Timberwolves make it past the Nuggets. The Nuggets are moving on.
I think so too.
Yeah, you can't beat the Joker.
Now, this is my favorite. This is my favorite series in the entire playoffs right now because as a Thunder fan, I love a good Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook action. And we've got it right here, first round of playoffs. The Phoenix Suns with their new champion, Kevin Durant, taking on Russell and the Clippers. Doesn't matter that he was 3 for 19 from the field the other night. He still pulled out the dub against the Suns. The Clippers are playing some crazy basketball. Kawhi is playing out of his mind, dropping some points.
I'm glad he's back, man.
Russ is playing some defense, man. Like, honestly, I like the Clips here. I want the Clips to win, but can they defeat Booker and Durant? That's the question. Right now, they've got a 1-game lead. Who are you guys taking? I want to know.
It's hard to go against the Suns because it's always Suns in 5, right?
Yeah, dude.
It's usually Suns in 4, but then it's Suns in 5. Then it goes to Suns in 6.
I think at this point it has to be 6, honestly, because they've already given up 1 game at home.
I don't understand how it's literally Kawhi Leonard just carrying this team again. He's doing what he did in Toronto a second time.
Yeah, but at the same time, Russ, while he's not putting points on the board, is playing the exact kind of defense he needs. This whenever he was lined up against Kevin Durant and Booker the only night, he only allowed 6 points. When he was playing defense on them.
That's a nutty statistic.
Points. For some reason, he puts his game face on when he's going up against those two. And so, man, say what you want about him. He's not hitting shots, but he's getting boards. He's getting assists. He's playing defense.
He's doing that old man YMCA basketball.
Yeah.
He's just locking you up.
He is Adam Sandler at the Y right now. That's what he's doing.
He is.
I think Clippers are going to take this. That's just me.
I just don't think Game 1's formula is sustainable for 4.
It was a close game. So they play tonight. It's a late game, but it's going to be one we have to tune into because I think it's going to be telling. So you guys are both saying Suns?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say Clippers, but I'm outvoted. Suns will move on. Next matchup, the battle for Northern California itself.
Yeah.
Sacramento is now up after yesterday 2-0 over the Warriors. I would not have predicted, but Domantas Sabonis in this
former
team,
Pacer.
Oh, a former Thunder player. The Kings are playing so well. It's exciting to watch them take on these giants that are the Warriors. These guys who have a massive playoff and championship pedigree. And the fact is this: like, yes, the Kings have been playing at home, but it's not really a sacrifice for the Warriors because they're still sleeping in their own beds every night.
Yeah, it's just across. Yeah.
It's not that far. So like
what, a 2-hour plane ride?
Yeah. Oh. A skip and a hop basically over to Sacramento for the Warriors. They're down 2-0. Do we think the Warriors can make a comeback? Is the question. Who advances out of this round? AJ, what you got?
I don't know, man. It's hard to count out Golden State because they are the reigning champs. And
but the question, does Draymond Green get suspensions? Does he get a suspension here?
No, there's no way he's going to get one.
For his actions in game 2.
I doubt it.
You don't think
like
so?
Some reason,
you think he just gets a slap on the wrist?
He should. But Adam Silver loves Golden State. He's not going to
you're not
put
wrong.
their thing in his head. He's not going to put... Yeah, there's no way. If anything, he's going to find him after the playoffs is over and oh, we went back and looked a little too late. Yeah, I'm with Freddie here. I think the ejections can be considered enough. Anything more is going to be too severe because it's going to impact the playoffs. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen with Sabonis either. Yeah, I'm with Freddie on this one.
Fair enough. All right, so who you got? You think Golden State's going to pull it out?
Nah, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
one go vote Golden State.
7-game series.
I'm going Kings. I think the Kings steamroll their way through this. I think they are literally the dream team, the team that nobody expected at the beginning of the season to be where they are. I think they got a shot, man, and I'm pushing them through. Frosty, you are the decider here. Who wins, Kings or Warriors?
Going out on a limb here. Kings are going to lose.
Oh, my gosh. No way.
Okay. 6. We're going to get it right now.
I highly disagree. Highly disagree. But that's not the way this game works. So the Warriors advance. Then we got the number 2 Grizzlies in Memphis taking on the Lakers. Lakers lead the series 1-0. They play tomorrow night at 6:30 Central Time. So it's 4:30 on the West Coast. Wow, that's early because they're playing in Memphis, right?
Yep.
Dang. I mean, Memphis has literally been all over the headlines for all the wrong reasons this season, but they're still number 2 seed in the West. Can Memphis basically bury the hatchet, take all the negative press and use it as fuel for the fire to come back and beat the Lakers? Or is LeBron going to be LeBron? And is the king going for yet another crown? That's the question. Frosty, you're first this time.
I can't bet against LeBron James.
Can't bet against him.
Yeah, just like the playing games, I can't bet against LeBron James in this series. I think Lakers pulled out. I think it's gonna be tough, but I think they win it.
AJ, same thing?
I'm gonna say Memphis, but I'm gonna say this. To keep the GOAT debate alive, LeBron has to beat Memphis and move on. Otherwise, he loses. To me, he loses all credit of being GOAT. So
yeah,
I still don't think he's the GOAT, but
I think the Lakers are gonna pull this out. I really do. I don't know that they have the caliber or the capability to win the entire thing, to make a run. But I think the Lakers do beat the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies they've got some stuff to work on. So let's run it back through the West. Now we've got the Lakers taking on the Warriors. A classic California clash right here. 2 champion pedigree teams. Who wins? This to me is probably the toughest match if it's the Kings Lakers, I want the Kings all the way. I think they got it. But if you're saying the Warriors Lakers, it's anybody's game in my opinion. I actually think the Kings are a better matchup against the Lakers compared to the Warriors.
I can see that.
I think they're too dynamic. They're a young team. They're too unpredictable, and the Kings have that to their advantage. The Warriors and the Lakers, they're the same teams that they've been. You know, they've got Clay, they got Dre, and they got Steph. And then you got AD and you got LeBron. Like, you know, take your pick. So,
and then it's going to be the same thing as usual. Golden State's going to win, move on.
I see Golden State winning that for sure.
Yeah. Golden State.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
All right. And who are they going to be playing? We've got either the Nuggets or you guys said the Suns, right?
Yeah.
Nuggets or the Suns?
Oof.
I'm going Suns. I think the Suns win that matchup. Yeah.
It's Phoenix's year, huh?
I think so.
So
until we talk about the next round, then I'll reconsider.
Man, I don't want to pick between these. I'm going to say Nuggets, I think.
Nuggets?
Yeah, I feel like they have this issue with getting past this round, the second round of the playoffs. They never get past the second round. I think this is their year. I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to look at both these teams, right? From the top down, they both have been making crazy moves. When you looked at last offseason leading up to the season, the Nuggets was one of those teams you're like, what is going to happen? Because they're literally blowing up. They're going to have a rebuilding year. But then they're number 1 seed. Apparently they know what they're doing there in Denver. Suns, same thing. They've been chasing a championship for a while, but didn't have the ammunition in the belt to make it happen. And then they sign Kevin Durant to join the likes of Devin Booker. Man.
And Chris Paul, man. You keep forgetting Chris Paul.
Dude, you're 100% right. Chris Paul is a legend. He is a future Hall of Famer. He is, again, a champion from his pedigree.
He was instrumental in their last run.
I think the Suns take it, to be honest. I think it's close, but I think the Suns beat the Nugs. I really do. Okay. I think there's way too much experience there, and they could carry a young, very, very talented Devin Booker. Unless it's the Clippers. If the Clippers advance, I don't know. I think the Nugs maybe pull that game, to be honest. But I think the Suns advance. That's me.
All right, so that means the Suns move on.
So the Suns are taking on the Warriors.
Oh, Warriors.
KD taking on his former team.
Warriors.
In the West.
Warriors.
Frosty.
Warriors.
I'm going all in. Phoenix. I'm going all in on Phoenix. I'm going all. It makes no sense. The Warriors should win that matchup, but I got a feeling. I got the Suns going all the way to the finals, and we'll see what I say next.
See, I don't even think the Warriors are there. I think it's the Kings, and I think they go all the way, and I think they're in the championship, to be perfectly honest. But if it's not, I think the Suns are going to go. So I'm putting Suns.
Wow. Suns Bucks final is what you guys.
Yeah, dude. Yep. I think that's, dude, KD versus Giannis in the final? That sounds like
a blowout. Heaven. That sounds boring. That sounds like
you think
the Bucks are gonna win it. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a sweep of the Bucks.
It'll be way closer than you think.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
You're saying Bucks in 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Because like every time, maybe I'm just imagining this, but from my recollection, every time that Giannis and KD have met up, Giannis has destroyed KD. Like, it's just, there's something on it. Like, when those two match up, especially, the defense on KD is staggering. The only person that they got to worry about at that point is Devin Booker. So
what about the Warriors Bucks? If that was the matchup, you still think it's a blowout?
I don't know. At that point, I think it's gonna be a 6-game, 7-game series, but I think that goes Bucks still. I think Bucks are gonna win it either way.
You think Bucks are taking it home again, no matter what?
Yep. Especially if that's who those are the two they're going up against. Yeah.
Yeah, I think realistically, Denver's the only team out of the West that give the Bucks a run.
100%. Yep.
Yep.
Joker's got Giannis, his number. He just does.
I would pay to see that finals. Honestly, it'd be so entertaining to watch those two teams take on.
Yeah, I think those two teams match up almost perfectly for each other.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I do think the Bucks are probably gonna win. If I'm being honest, I would love to see a team in the West win. I'd love to see the Kings win because they're a really exciting story.
Bracket was ruined when the Celtics were eliminated. You're wrong, man. The Celtics are gonna get eliminated first round. Bye.
All right. Well, that is our official playoff predictions as a collective. Some disagreements along the way, but we managed to make it work. The Bucks, you heard it here first, on this channel, are gonna take it. They're gonna take it.
Don't even bother watching. We already got it. Yeah.
We already got it.
We already spoiled it.
Tune in, and you could put money on that. Actually, don't, because I don't
do that.
Don't
Not
do that.
financial advice.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Hey, real quick, Jim, if you are floating around and available, who do you got? Who? Just curious, not necessarily with our bracket, but who do you got winning the finals?
I really want to give you an answer, but I feel like it's not gonna work.
What's not gonna work? Just give me an answer. Who wins the NBA finals? Here's your pick.
There's like 4 possibilities.
Okay.
I'm not giving it. I'm not giving it.
He's
gonna come back and haunt me later on. Oh, Jim, remember that last time we
I'm not
asked
gonna
when we
jinx
were
it.
wrong?
Nope.
He's so superstitious. I love it. I
love it too. I love it.
No.
Well, everyone, the man on the ones and twos, Jim. Everybody give a round of applause for Jim. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's move on to our entertainment news for the night. We've got some really interesting topics to cover here. The first one is something that I did not see coming, but we've talked about this franchise a lot the past couple months, and we're talking about them quite a bit tonight. Harry Potter. It has been announced that they are working on a full series reboot. They are recasting. They're not doing movies. They're going to do a HBO Max series where it's going to be basically heavily focused on like each book in detail, and each season will represent one novel. So it's a pretty cool approach. But guys, I want to get your take. Is this the right move by Warner Brothers here to reboot this franchise on HBO, or do you think they should just leave it alone? How do you guys feel about this?
Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon, man. Like everything that they've been rebooting lately, like look at it. It's either been in the 90s or the 80s. And it's like, okay, fine. Even the 90s have been pushing it, but I'll allow it, I'll allow it. Mario Brothers, for example, Ninja Turtles, all these like 90s Ghostbusters, all been getting reboots. Fine. That's cool. But now you're pushing into the 2000s and the 2010s. And that's when it's getting a little too close. Mm-hmm. Like, just a little too close.
Now, and the real question is, what is the purpose of rebooting it? Is it just money? Is it that HBO is trying to create more original series to compete with the likes of Apple TV and Disney Plus? Or is it that they're trying to clean up the name of JKR and just kind of all the controversy that's there? Is that part of the reason why it's there? Like, I don't really understand the purpose of this. And they haven't really cited one other than, hey, we're doing it. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's definitely a subscriptions thing in my mind, right? They want people to subscribe to Max for business purposes. Screw J.K. Rowling, no matter what they do with this. But yeah, I agree. It's really, it feels like it's really soon, right? Like the first movie came out, I think 2001, 2002. So it's been a little bit for the first movie, but yeah, the last ones came out 2007, 2009. We just did these other ones that flopped. I like 13-year-old me would have loved this had they done this originally rather than doing the movies, because I do think, books are adapted more for TV than they are movies. But I don't know.
I mean,
and those movies are good. Yeah, and those
2010 was the last movie.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at this, I mean, really, they've got Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, Last of Us. Those are like the big three over there.
Yeah.
But
On
then
HBO.
they have all the like DC superheroes now. So like they
but they're not
like,
doing anything in terms of streaming series. So like if you're going to talk about doing a series,
Well, they are soon. You know, you got
they're doing the
doing
Green Lantern one.
Green Lantern.
Yeah. I know that
they got the Peacemaker coming.
They're
what
doing
was that?
the James.
Why did you laugh at Green Lantern?
It's not that Ryan Reynolds in that suit. Yeah.
Well, okay. I love how everyone gives that movie so much crap. It's a good movie. Okay. You guys can say it's bad.
I forgot Euphoria.
When did it come out?
Another
come on.
That's pretty prestigious on there.
Euphoria is pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
They got the Velma series now.
You got Sesame Street.
Oh,
you got
Sesame Street. That's great.
Actually, that's Apple TV. It's split rights. It's on both.
Oh, dang.
Fun fact.
Just wait for Ted Lasso to be split rights soon, you know?
No, God, no. I mean, honestly, this is the last season.
They may be getting AEW soon too. There's talks about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I think it's too soon. That's why.
I'm gonna watch it though.
Yeah, aren't we?
It's too soon. I'm still gonna watch it.
Still gonna watch it, and we're gonna be very critical. HBO,
super critical.
We're messing with our childhood here. All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harry Potter, another big news item from Harry Potter just came out this week, and I actually am really excited about this. So everyone who played Hogwarts Legacy, like pretty early on in the game, you find out that there is no Quidditch representation. They make up some bogus story of why Quidditch is not included, and a lot of fans were dumbfounded with, why are they not including this? It's a massive part of Hogwarts. It's a massive part of this. Well, apparently, Portkey Games has a studio that is working on a standalone Quidditch game. It was announced yesterday, called Quidditch Champions. Play testing begins this weekend. You can actually sign up to try to get approved or accepted into the closed playtest beta this weekend. I used to play the old GameCube and PlayStation 2 Quidditch World Cup Championship.
Yeah.
So much fun. So whenever they announced this, I was really ecstatic to see them take on a modern take or a newer take of this to compete with the likes of Rocket League and a lot of other competitive games in this space. Do you guys think this was like just the right move to hold off to make it its own standalone game rather than be a mini game in Legacy? Do you think that was the right move?
I genuinely don't think it was the right move. I think it could have been a DLC and it could have had the same effect. I think this is just them attempting to get more money. And hey, it is what it is. It's business.
Yeah.
There was a couple of years ago, there was actually an independent studio that made a Quidditch game that you could play.
I remember
online.
They couldn't call it Quidditch. It was
they called it something else.
Quidditch rules.
But it was Quidditch. Yeah. It even looked like a Quidditch arena. It blew up. It was massively popular. They ended up getting shut down.
Right? It was only on PC.
Yep. It was super.
They shut that game down. They get sued.
They did. Yeah. They took it off Steam. I know because I bought it. But two things. One, Quidditch rules don't really make a ton of sense if you like break them down. Like the scoring makes no sense. But two,
you just need to find the seeker and that's it, or like get the switch or whatever, and that's it.
Or outscore your opponent's team by 160 points.
Also, I could see it being a huge community like online game success. So I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait to play Quidditch with my friends. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I get into the playtest.
Me too. I signed up yesterday. Yeah,
I'm in the Discord. I signed up for the playtest. You can do it too, guys. If you're watching, you're interested. You guys can go sign up for the playtest and cross your fingers and hope you get in.
Don't, because we want to get in.
IGN is supposedly reporting that the playtest is going to start as early as the 21st, but it does not have a set end date. So, I mean, it could be one of those long running play test. And currently, if you're inside of their Discord, they've already got 5,000 members plus in this Discord that opened yesterday.
Woof.
So there's a lot of people trying to get in here. Oh, hey, Frosty just said hi to me in the Discord. Look at that. So, of all things. So, yeah, go check it out. I'm excited for it. I hope I get to be in the playtest. I actually reached out to their devs to see if, after the playtest comes out, if they'd be willing to come on the show and do a quick Q&A interview. So, hopefully, they'll do that. That would be awesome to pull them on the show. So, cross our fingers there. All right, last entertainment topic of the night, and then we're going to go to our boss battle. Question is, guys, are you staying up late to watch The Mandalorian Season 3 finale? Again, we're not going to talk any spoilers here, so we don't need to talk about everything that's happened 1 through 7. I will say, personally, I feel like this has been a little bit of a slower season. It's definitely world building. They're building up something beyond what the season has. But we did get an amazing episode 7 leading into this finale episode, which is slated to be 38 minutes long and released tonight. So really the question here is, are we expecting good things from this finale? Are we expecting any crazy twists? Like what are your final predictions without giving away story details? What can you say about this show? Is it something you're looking forward to? Do you think it's going to match the rest of the season to be kind of mid-tier? Or do you guys think it's going to blow it out of the park and completely change our mind about season 3?
I have no idea. I'm going to watch it all Saturday and Sunday.
You're going to binge it, all of it.
The whole thing this weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to enjoy it. I mean, if you
all right,
there is a lot of good stuff there to enjoy. But it's definitely world building. It feels a lot like Andor in that sense. AJ, what do you think?
It's been a mid-season, and I think it's going to be a mid-ending.
Oh,
that's
bummer.
how I'm going to put it.
Oh, okay.
I liked Mando all the other seasons, and they've really got my attention. Mm-hmm. But as I come in as I didn't grow up watching Star Wars. I only started watching it when I started touring. So lightsabers are cool, but I feel like Knights of the Old Republic is something that needs to get focused on and hasn't. So I'm just kind of bummed out.
Well,
but
I mean,
it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming too late. All right. This stuff is boring. So? Andor is boring. This season of Mando is boring. It didn't keep my attention. I'm too ADD for this stuff. You got to keep my...
I don't know if we brought this up last week, but there was an interview. I think I saw this after the show last week. We talked about this on the show, but there is a new movie that's supposed to tie in the Ahsoka series that was announced, and Mandalorian, and that Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau universe. Kathleen Kennedy went on to say that is 7 years out. That they have 7 years still left of Mando and or Ahsoka and our other series in this era that are going to lead up to that movie, which to me is just wild, bro.
7 years is a long time. That's as long as Harry Potter went to school, plus some, because he dropped out,
True. He didn't even get his GED.
Spoilers. I wonder if there is a wizardry GED.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they just
Popsicle Willie. This is a show about sports and entertainment and such.
Yeah, we talk about video games, streaming, sports news, all that fun stuff. So came to the right place. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for popping by the show. And you've actually come on to one of our favorite segments of the show. We do each and every week. This is the boss battle. It's time for the boss battle. Let's go ahead and roll that intro and get started.
Choose your character.
That poor infinite army of stat heads. Every week, just getting pummeled to death by.
They never learn.
We should change it up.
We really should. I need to redo all the intros while we're on a break. All right, guys. So this is our boss battle segment. Each and every week, we run a topic, we debate it, and then you guys discuss it and let us know who you most agree with at home. This week's topic is: what is your top 3 best sports movie list? We're gonna run down our number 3, number 2, and number 1 sports movie And then you guys at home are gonna get to vote on what you think is the winner. Popsicle Willie says that wasn't an intro; it's a short film. Hey, you know what? I'm glad that someone can appreciate our art. It's true. All right, so let's move in. Top 3 best sports movies. Who wants to go first this week? Anyone like really like key like on this topic? That like
You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll go first. All right. Number 3, Caddyshack. Classic comedy movie. Love it. Number 2, Mighty Ducks.
Which one? The OG?
Number 1.
Yeah,
the OG Mighty Ducks. Love that movie. Number 1, this is probably what's going to make me lose this because probably no one's seen this movie, but it's amazing. It's called Sugar. Came out in 2008. Follows a Dominican Republic immigrant playing minor league baseball in middle America and his journey, like trying to achieve the dream. It's a great movie. No one knows it, so I'll lose, but it's the best sports movie of all time.
Okay. Hey, you could be wrong. It's okay. AJ, who you got? Or you want me to go first? I don't care either way.
So I'm gonna do. Originally, my number 3 was Mighty Ducks, but number 2 because that's the one where they introduced Kenan Thompson.
Yes.
And the Knuckle Puck. So that's just a better Mighty Ducks, in my opinion.
It's new and improved, and it's patriotic.
Number
That's
2.
my problem with it, really.
Iceland sucks.
Number 2.
Sorry, Icelandic fans.
Dodgeball. Because dodgeball is a sport, and that movie got me into my actual collegiate sport where I was a captain. Dodgeball, yes.
If you can dodge a wrench,
you can dodge a ball. If you can dodge traffic, you can dodge a ball. If you can dodge traffic drunk, that's when you can really dodge a ball. That's the DePaul Blue Demons motto right there. And then number 1 is the best sports movie ever, Space Jam.
Oh, the OG with MJ, of course.
Oh yes, no, LeBron's is not good.
It is not.
We treat the second Space Jam like we treat the second Karate Kid. We don't talk about it. There is no second one.
All right. Number 3. To me, it could go either way between these two. Okay, and I don't think there's a wrong answer. Little Big League or Angels in the Outfield is my number 3. The reason why I can't pick one over the other, Little Big League, it's about a kid who takes over his grandfather's estate and ends up owning the Minnesota Twins, and he plays a GM and then becomes a coach. Yeah. It's amazing. Really good film. Also, Angels in the Outfield, 1994. Danny Glover. Need I say more? I mean, it's a classic. Number 2. This is where I already know what my number 1's going to be, but number 2 is kind of where like it could fluctuate. I've got to go with Shia LaBeouf's Greatest Game Ever Played. Golf movie, slower pace, great story, brings tears to your eyes. It's pretty good. Number one. Freddie said, "Info, be honest. Did you bought this? How would I bought this?" All right. Number 1.
It's gonna be a continued joke for the rest of our lives.
It is. It's true. Number 1 is Remember the Titans, hands down. Remember the Titans, the best sports movie of all time.
Good movie. Yeah.
Now I will earn the poll. No Sandlot, throw the whole show away. Honestly, Sandlot is up there for sure.
It was one I struggled with too. I like Sandlot a lot. I
think
I didn't want to do all baseball movies.
Mid. I don't like Sandlot.
Sandlot's great, but I don't think it beats Little Big League or Angels of the Outfield. What's your best baseball movie aside from the one you mentioned, Frosty?
Oh, it's definitely Sandlot.
Sandlot?
I also like Bull Durham a lot too. It's one of those two.
Ooh, Afro says A League of Their Own. Ooh.
Also a great movie. Yeah.
Basketball, if I had to pick one.
Basketball is amazing. Yes.
Not a big baseball
Major
fan.
League with Charlie Sheen. We got
Major League is good.
How could I forget Moneyball? Moneyball is amazing too.
Moneyball's good.
Moneyball is good.
Yep. Freddie, I can't say Moneyball. Yeah.
I was half expecting you guys to
Get
be
your
like
votes in here, y'all. Get your
Creed
votes in here.
1, Creed 2, Creed 3.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. There was a point in my life where Moneyball is what I fell asleep to for like 2 years straight. Like every night, I'm watching Moneyball. Like I don't care. I love that movie. It was super good. But I don't know if it's top 3 all time. I think I was just like in a season where I was like, yeah, I like this movie, but it's definitely
If
not.
you're talking about sports with the best movie collections, though, baseball wins hands down.
Oh, dude,
The body of
Sports?
work of baseball movies.
baseball. Yes, I agree with you. There are better baseball movies than there are anything else.
Yeah.
In terms of sports. AJ,
White Man Can't Jump. You got Space Jam. You got Love and Basketball. There's so many great basketball movies. I
Love
could
and
keep
Basketball.
going for right.
Not to mention what's that one movie with Adam Sandler that he just did for Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
The basketball movie. Hoosiers was also really good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, I still think baseball's better, but it's close.
You got
'cause basketball's
Coach
up-
Carter. You
Coach
got
Carter.
Semi-Pro. You got The Way Back. You got Glory Road. Hustle is the one you're talking about.
Hustle. Yeah, Hustle.
We could do this all day with both of these.
It's
Baseball's
true.
Right, says Kevin.
We got
Costner
Air Bud.
movie.
Everybody.
the
That's
rookie.
why all high school
The
rule books
rookie,
have
bro.
no dogs
Like
allowed
Mike. More than a game. Come on.
Honestly, we need to have
High School
we need to do-
Musical.
Freddie Air, dude. That's a stretch. Freddie, we need to have Freddie Airmail help us create a.
That's a
seeded,
basketball movie.
64 seed sports movie bracket, and like
my
have
gosh.
all of the SE vote on it.
That'd be awesome.
The Airbud entire series is your top 10. Boom. This is Freddie Airmail. Oh man. All right. Well, guys,
He's a good boy. He deserves
it. Looks
it.
like I take this dub. I don't know. It's interesting.
Botted.
That's because they all voted before you said your second
They
movie.
did. Before I
And
said
then
my
it's,
second
and then
movie.
everyone was disappointed. They're like,
Yeah,
actually,
they're
this
just like,
was-
ah.
Hey, but my number one, I think honestly, Remember the Titans is number one.
It's a
Remember
great
the Titans
movie.
is a good one. Yeah. No.
It's
It's a great movie.
I will say one movie that we didn't talk about. Jason Wright on YouTube said Kevin Costner sports movies. Draft Day is super underrated.
I watched. I'm not a fan of it. It was
You don't
fine.
like it?
I was gonna say
fine.
Kevin Costner as a whole. He's like he's mid actor.
Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Again, this is the In4K show where each and every Tuesday night, live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, we run you through the sports, video game news, and entertainment news you need to know about, give you comments, opinions, and you guys can interact live with us each and every week on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure if you don't catch us live, like Jason Wright, It's Jay Spacely, Freddie Airmail, and Popsicle Willie did this week, you guys can catch us on podcast services wherever you get your podcasts. We hope that you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining the show. We will see you back here the second Tuesday of May as we are taking, again, a hiatus. We'll be back on May 9th. So I hope to see you all right here on May 9th. But keep it right here on Fan Control Sports and Entertainment. We've got a lot of great shows this week, including Don't Cause a Ruckus, happening every Wednesday, the Fan Control show on Thursdays, and we even got a new show on Mondays now, back to work. So you guys can tune into that live as well. But until next time, hope you guys have a great night. And remember, power to the fans.